You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 podcast. This is the special episodes that we do all the time for Chelsea, since I'm a Chelsea fan. And this is a review for the Leicester versus Chelsea. As you can see, I'm not 100%. If you can look, I had a little cold over the international break, so I might not be able to, sound like I usually sound. But then we love Chelsea, so we are always going to forge ahead. So the match just ended between Leicester and Chelsea. Enzo Maresca went back to his former team, a place where he used to call home last season, and they wanted to be, try and cause some problems, but Enzo Maresca siphoned the whole team. He showed them that he was the reason why they were promoted. So there are a couple of things that I'm going to talk about. Usual defensive issues, our attack, and the surprises that Enzo Maresca came up with. So without further much ado, I want us to just go straight into the lineup, and we are going to talk about certain 5 points that I saw in the match, certain things that we need to work on, and then certain things that we can still continue doing going forward. So the question that everyone is asking is that, can Chelsea maintain the top 4 position that we are in right now? And also I'm also asking the question is that, can Chelsea finish above Arsenal at the end of the season? So these are the questions that I'm going to answer throughout the video. So don't go away. Let's see what is going to happen. So let's look at the lineup that Enzo Maresca went for during the match. He went for a different lineup. He surprised everyone. I think he knows that the team knows him, so he decided to come up with something that they would not expect at all. So let's see. So he came up with the usual Sanchez in goal, which I don't really like, but then what are we going to do about it? It looks like he's our number one anyway, so there's nothing we can do about it. So Sanchez in goal, and then he went for Cole as usual. Cole there, and then Fofana and Bediashile in the defense, and Cucurella as well. So these are the back 4 that he went for. So the graphic that you are seeing is Chelsea in attack. He did some tweaks that are so interesting we're going to talk about. So in the midfield, he surprisingly went for Enzo and Caicedo, which every Chelsea fan thought that since they went for the international break, they were in the South America, so they didn't have a lot of time to train together and all that. So we thought they were not going to start, but they started. And then he surprised us with Felix starting his first Premier League match, together with Palmer in the pocket, and then Madueke on the right, and Cucurella, who was actually bombing forward on the touchline on the left side in attack. This is something that we've not seen Enzo Maresca do. He's always making his left back or right back do an underlapping runs whenever we are going forward, but this time around he did it. He allowed Cucurella to be the overlapping on the left side, and then he put Jackson up front. So this lineup surprised everyone, but then it surprised the team, it surprised everyone. So it really worked. But there's one thing that I am surprised about, the fact that I was thinking that since we have a system like this, he was going to make Enzo and Caicedo sit so that the attack will do their thing. But he was so, attacking minded to the extent that he allowed Enzo to also join the attack. So we had like about 5 players behind Jackson when we had the ball, and we pushed Leicester back so much that they couldn't do anything. And I think it was great in the first half. They couldn't come out. They didn't. It looked like a training match, and I think we should applaud Enzo Maresca for that, because he really surprised everyone. He made sure that the team was on the front foot right from the beginning. The team was taking charge of the game, dictating play, controlling everything. It's like any important metric in the match was done by Chelsea, and that is where Felix combined with Jackson to lead to a goal, and the goal was taken so well. It looks like Jackson, my goodness, Jackson, he is now a world-class striker. I tell you, there were news that Chelsea believe that he's the 3rd best in the league, and I think it is very true. Looking at the league, the strikers that we have now, I think he may be behind Haaland, and probably maybe I think maybe a Newcastle striker. That may be it, and that's it. Because this season, clearly the guy has improved, and it shows that if we continue to put our faith in him, he's going to really grow and grow and grow and become one of the greats. So I think the rumors that are going out whether Chelsea are going to go for a clinical striker or a world-class striker, we may have it, but then maybe we could go for someone to compete with him, not someone to take over from him. That's what Chelsea could do. That was very, very good. The first half, Chelsea dominated every important metric of the match, and so the surprises were that Gusto was ill, and then we all didn't expect that. And then James, we all heard the news that he's had a hamstring injury again. I don't want to go into it. I love James so much, so I don't want to go into it. But I think Chelsea should start preparing for his replacement. That we should find a way to replace him. Whether we are going to promote someone from the academy, or maybe we are going to go for someone else. Whatever we might do, or we have to start preparing, because we may not see the Reece James that we know of old. He may never get there because of these little injuries that we've been seeing. So I think the first half, there's nothing wrong except the last 5 to 10 minutes when Leicester decided to come out, when they decided to impose themselves on in the game. Chelsea's defense started fumbling. They started stringing passes together and all that, and clearly Sanchez is not ready. This guy, every match he gives us one scare every single match. I don't know why Chelsea has decided to just allow him and not put any pressure on him or anything, but I don't think it is going to help us, because he may not be the right guy for us. Every match he will do something that will scare us. Every single match. How long can we continue like this? How long can we continue like this? So let's continue. I don't want us to dwell much on it. We are all aware. But then the combination between Felix and Palmer and then Jackson was superb. The guy is talented. Enzo has finally come up with a way to include him in the team. And for us to know, we have a lot of matches that we are supposed to win this season, and these are the kind of matches where we need him. So I think that the new formation that he has come up with, it is a very good one. We could easily, if Neto was not well as well, we didn't see him in the lineup or on the bench. If Neto comes back and he's on the right side, if you have Neto there, you could easily slot Felix for Nkunku, which means we can play Nkunku and Palmer in a lineup. Yes, so and we can allow Sancho to get back to his best, so that this way we know that there is a way. We could easily swap it the other way around, where we are making Gusto do the overlapping run on the byline, not underlapping. That way we know we can include all these players in the lineup. So he has finally come up with a way to balance the team in attack and defense, and still have enough attacking prowess. So I think you could see a little bit that they were not really gelling in attack, but then with time, if they continue to play together, I'll tell you, we are going to rip teams apart. So let's continue. Let's continue from there. So some of the talking points is that we should have scored so many goals. There was a chance where Madueke blocked Palmer from having a tap in. We should have, and this is why I say that we may not be there yet. This is why we cannot even compete for the league. Because looking at the number of matches that we have, the kind of matches we have from now till January, if we were serious, we should be competing for the league. But these inconsistencies, these kind of things that we see with our team, is why we cannot. Because any team, even Manchester United, battered this team 3-0. So we should be doing that. But this team is so not predictable. The youthfulness is still there, despite all the talents that we have and everything. You could see that there's still something else that is lacking in this team. Our defense and attack is still not balanced yet. But I think with this formation, we have more people up front. And one thing that Felix surprised me with is that he was able to defend. That's something that everyone thought that, Felix is not really, but look at the way he runs after the ball when he made a mistake, trying to retrieve the ball back for the team. So we could have something here.
we could have a system that will inculcate all those talented players that we have. So we could have a way of actually playing Nkunku and Palmer in the same lineup. But some people are saying we should talk about Palmer. It looks like teams are really targeting and finding a way to stop him. They are just kicking him left, right, center. So I don't know how, but we should find a way of eluding, making sure that he is able to have impact, even though he did have an impact in this game. But this is not the usual level that we see, because it's like every team is targeting him and they are just kicking him every match. So let's continue. We're looking at this match. You could see that we didn't give them any chance. Yes, we didn't give them any chance. Leicester, some of their best players are injured, and this was a match that we should be battering them, but we couldn't for some reason. So let's continue. And Enzo Fernandez, he's back in the lineup and he scored. And this goal was actually a rebound from Jackson again. Jackson is so good this season. He's there now. Look, the way he was able to force himself to head the ball for the keeper to save, to try and save it, and where Enzo Fernandez, try and was able to head into the goal. It shows clearly his maturity now. But this goal is also important for Enzo Fernandez's, confidence. But for me, I think he should have been deployed in the deep line playmaker role, where we want to see him sitting with Caicedo. Because I don't see any difference between Enzo and Lavia. I think it may be controversial to people, but the two of them have defensive frailties. The only difference is that maybe the beginning phase of the game, where evading the press and all that, we could say Lavia is a little better than Enzo. But then apart from that, going forward, all we saw Caicedo spraying passes, all those long balls to switch play and all that. Enzo Fernandez is the best at it. He can do it so well. So why don't we play to his strength? If we allow Lavia to be sitting with Caicedo, why don't we allow Enzo to be sitting with Caicedo, so we see whether it's going to be different or not? Because if you give Enzo Fernandez these license to always go forward, and he's not able to recover early to support the defense, and then everyone sees that with him and Caicedo, Chelsea's defense is porous. You're not being fair on the player. That's my opinion, though. Because when Lavia came in after we took Caicedo out, you could clearly see that, yes, the guy defensively, he has problems. Look at the penalty that they had in the last minute. Like, it is not entirely his fault. He was just running back and all that, but it just highlighted his defensive frailties. It shows clearly that defensively he's not that guy as everyone thinks. Without Caicedo in this Chelsea team, teams will bully us, and it's very scary for me to think about, because one injury to Caicedo and our season could be in shambles. Yes, I am so happy that we are third. I am happy that we are just 1 point behind, Man City, even though they have one game to play. But you could see that there's still something left. There's something left in this team for us to be able to be confident enough and say we are getting there. But I believe in Enzo Maresca. He has shown his tactical flexibilities. He has shown that he is able to do all those things. So let's look at some of the statistics in the game, and let's see. So we could see that Chelsea dominated totally, like 5 shots on goal, and then they had only 1. We have 14 shots. And then they had 3. Possession 64. So this is a game that, without knowing the scoreline as 2-1, we should be battering them. That is where I have a problem. We look at these statistics. It shows clearly that we dominated the game. But last minute we were fighting for our lives. We shouldn't be in that position in the first place. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Why should we be fighting for your life with these statistics? Why? We were struggling. We wanted the match to end, and I don't think that's the best. That's the best approach for this team. But I know we will get there. Definitely, we will get there. And Enzo Maresca is trying to still, build his team, trying to find his best 11 and all that. But I believe that with his tactical flexibility and all that he's doing now, things can change. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm having a little cold, but clearly, Chelsea can still improve, and even with that, we are in third. So kudos to Enzo Maresca and his boys and everyone. And see you again in the next Chelsea review or preview, as I always do it. And please comment, and I appreciate those who are always come back to watch us, those who always come back to listen to our podcast. Comment, and then I'm going to reply to you. If you are an Arsenal fan and you want to be part of the one that the full podcast that we have all the guests in, please let me know in the comments and I'll reach out to you, because we want an Arsenal fan to be on the pod as well. Thank you very, very much, and we are going to see you at the main podcast with all the representatives on Sunday. Thank you very much. Bye bye.